Okay, let's see. I lost my place here. How do you think your ordeal with those carjackers has changed your outlook on life? Well, immediately it was pretty negative for me. I had post-traumatic stress disorder, really pervasive post-traumatic stress disorder. After that, I still struggle with it to this day. I still have intrusive flashbacks of the incident, although I've got it under control now. But at first, I couldn't even ride in a car at night anymore. So the immediate effect on me was pretty negative. But the overall effect, having dealt with the post-traumatic stress and dealt with the issue and moved past it in my life, is that it changed my entire outlook on life. It made me a person that is much more thankful for the life that I have. Because I truly believe that I really did escape death. I don't. Even the cops. When I was waiting at the police station for my dad to come pick me up when I finally got back to the police station, one of the cops that was involved in catching these guys came in to see me and asked if I was all right and bring me my clothes. And he told me, he said, you're really lucky. And I don't know why he told me this. I didn't know maybe he thought it would comfort me, but it scared the shit out of me. He told me that the gun that this guy had was, I told you it was a 9mm with an extended clip. He said that it had an illegal hair trigger on it, and that when they had found the gun, the safety was off. And something tells me that the safety was off on this gun when he had it to my head. So he could have hit a bump and just blown my fucking head off. And he also told me that I was very lucky, because usually when this happens to people, when they're kidnapped and taken out into the country, it means that they're going to die, that they're going to be shot. The fact that I wasn't, he told me, he said it was pretty much a miracle. So, I truly do believe that I escaped death, and it really made me appreciate life a lot more. So there you go. What's your favorite book? My favorite book, I think I talked about this in a previous video. My favorite book is Hatchet by Gary Paulson. It's the first novel I ever read. It's like on the third or fourth grade curriculum. It's the first novel I ever read, and I directly attribute my love of reading to that book. I still read that book, once a year, and I love the story. It's great. I also love The Lord of the Rings, but I can't pick just one of them, so I always say Hatchet. But The Lord of the Rings, I've read that trilogy, and The Hobbit a million times too. So there you go. Do you have any favorite historical, philosophical thinkers? If so, who are they and why do they appeal to you? The closest that I can come, I'm not a huge philosophy buff. I like the very, outer level of philosophy, the basics, but when it comes to the really deep, I don't have the patience for it. The closest that I can come to this would be William Shakespeare. I've learned a lot about humanity from reading his plays, and I think that he was just one of the great minds of all time. I love reading his work. I love acting in his work. So if I had to pick one, I don't know if he counts as a philosophical, historical mind, but he's the closest I can come to somebody that I would say is my favorite, definitely. Where do you see the world atheist movement in 200 years? I actually am pretty optimistic about that. If humanity doesn't manage to wipe itself off the map within the next 200 years, which I think is a very real possibility, if we survive the next 200 years and, our government doesn't turn into some sort of, fucking police state, doesn't turn into some sort of a fucking locked down fascist police state, which I think that call me a fucking conspiracy theorist, but I think that we're extraordinarily close to that, and I think that it probably will happen. Assuming that we continue along the same path that we are now, I think that atheists will enjoy much better stature in society in 200 years. I think that we've been gaining ground steadily. I know that atheists are still the most maligned group of people in the United States, the most mistrusted, the most hated minority in the United States. But we've made some incredible leaps forward. We've got atheists, publicly speaking about it. We've got atheists writing books about it, and the books are becoming bestsellers. And so I think that the more and more time goes on, the more accepted atheism and atheists are going to be in society. So assuming that we're still around and still in a decent, free society in 200 years, I think atheists will be much better off, enjoy much better status. Let's see. Although you view religion as complete and utter bullshit, if you had to pick one, which one would you say is the most realistic and why? I think that religion as truth is complete bullshit. I don't think that religion, there are a lot of things, I would pick Christianity. There are a lot of things about Christianity that I like. Of course, I'd be cherry picking. I cherry pick things out of Christianity that I like. Because there are a lot of things about Christianity that are ridiculously awful. But yeah, I would probably pick Christianity. Yeah, you're right. You said, I know you might say no religion is realistic. Yeah, I don't think any religion is realistic. I don't think Christianity is any more realistic, but I do like it. I have experience with it, and there are things about it that I really do enjoy from a philosophical standpoint. If you were the president, what would you do? If I was the president, the one thing that I know I would work towards, and I would probably fail miserably, is getting money out of politics. I would work towards shutting down lobbyists altogether, or at least shutting down the ability for lobbyists to donate huge amounts of money and trips and swag to all these fucking congressmen. I would reform campaign finance to where a normal guy like me, or a really intelligent guy that also happens to be a blue-collar worker, would have a chance at representing this country. I think that that's a huge problem, and that would be probably the thing that I would tackle as the president. If you were a millionaire, what are the first 10 things you'd buy with your fortune? I'm not going to list every last one of them, but I think that they would probably be things for my friends and family, depending on how many millions I got. If I was a millionaire, like if I sucked the horse cock and got the $1 million, I probably wouldn't be able to buy much for my family. I'd probably try and give each one of them a car or something. So that would probably be the first thing. But if I was a multi-millionaire, I'd buy houses for people and shit. I mean, I can't take it with you. I would leave myself enough to where I know I wouldn't have to worry for the rest of my life. But I would also make sure that, especially my close family, wouldn't have to worry either for the rest of their lives. I'd set them up. Let's see. If you could clone yourself as you are now and make out with yourself, would you? Abso-fucking-lutely. Wouldn't you? Like, how surreal would that experience be? Plus, who better knows how to please you than you? Absolutely. That would be amazing. Do you think that the amazing atheist and the friendly geek are really just the same person? I don't give a shit. Do you like Jell-O? Plain Jell-O? No. Like the like jigglers and shit? No. Jell-O pudding? Amazing. Yes. When I put my car lock remote under my chin, it works from farther away. Does my head act as an antenna? I would imagine that your gigantic melon, filled with all kinds of soupy liquid and shit, would help to conduct a signal. Yeah, I guess it does. The amazing atheist again. He took like an hour break and then came back and threw some more at me. Is this question better than you? Because I don't know how to answer it, yes, I suppose it is. If your girlfriend was raped by your best friend and she killed him in an act of revenge, would you break up with her? I think it would probably lead to us breaking up, yes. That type of traumatic thing, yeah, I don't know if I would break up with her, but it would probably lead to a breakup down the road, because it would just fundamentally change our relationship. Do you ever stare at the ceiling all night thinking about how much death will suck? No, I don't. I'm not really afraid of dying, and I don't think it's going to suck. What is the coolest disease name ever? Spinal meningitis. It's actually one of my favorite songs, too, a song by a band called Ween, Spinal Meningitis. That's a fucking great name. It's just, the structure of it, spinal meningitis. It's fun to say. It sounds cool. If I was going to name my kids after a disease, I would name them spinal meningitis, and then maybe call them Spiny for short. That's awesome. Let's see. Do you envy my man tits? This is obviously the amazing atheist. How could I not? Those are some glorious fucking breasts that you have. I remember a video that was made, I think it was right around the first time that I ever made a video response to you. I said something about your man tits, and somebody made a video response to me that was just like 10 minutes of video looped of you like slow motion juggling your man tits. How could you not be jealous of those man tits? You said all answers will be interpreted as yes. Well, the answer is yes. Absolutely.